Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to Fix It Friday.
One, two, three, four.
Birthday in Z.
60, 70, 80.
All right, guys, push through. Let's go. Fix It Friday, guys. Today is the days when I go over certain things I think can be improved or fixed throughout the MMA, martial arts, and Krav Maga world. And today we're going to do a little something different and talk about a little something different. We're not going to go over a particular self-defense technique today. We're going to talk about preparing for a fight, preparing for a test, more in a, if you're an athlete, MMA fighter, boxer, or any sort of athlete actually preparing for a big event, or if you are a Krav Maga practitioner, jiu-jitsu practitioner, and you're preparing for a big event, or preparing for a test, a belt test or something like that, trying to go up to the next level. And I thought about doing this because the huge event coming up tomorrow against Max Holloway, Khabib, it was an injury. I look forward to seeing Ferguson and Khabib fight, and it was an injury. He can't fight. Now, before I even go any further, Tony Ferguson has an outstanding team. I'm sure they know all the things I'm about to tell you, so I'm not thinking today it was a hiccup. I just think the fight was jinxed. But I do want to talk about things that you should do leading up to a big event. In their case, talking about a fight, but in our case, we're talking about what to do before a test. All right, so a couple of things that I want to talk about. Number one thing that you should do right before a test, I would say, when I say right before a test, I would say about 2-3 weeks out, sometimes 4, depending on the magnitude of the test. And that is cut out all of your hard sparring, your doing high risk moves, jump turning, things that can go wrong. You may twist your ankle, you may hurt your arm. You want to cut that out. When it gets to about maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks out, you should be just doing, still keeping your cardio up, still keeping your training up, but doing safe movements so you won't get hurt during your training. Okay? So the second thing that you can do is start wearing more protective gear. I said this in another video. I see a lot of people, once they get hurt, they come in and they have their knee wrap on, or they have an ankle wrap on, or they have their wrist wraps up. But they do this after they get hurt. It's too late. It's too late. Try to prevent the injury. If you see me training, I wear everything when I train. I got arm pads on. I have my forearm pads. I have my knee pads. I have my ankles wrapped up. Everything is trying to be as safe as possible when I train to prevent myself from getting injured in the first place. You don't see football players putting on their pads after the game is over. They put on their pads before the game starts. So add in your protective equipment, your wrist wraps, your mouthpieces, everything before you train. And lastly, this is obvious, but I have to mention it, your proper rest and recuperation. Okay? The closer you get to an event, probably the longer you've been training. And if you've been training for 2, 3, 4 months at a time, your body's going to start to break down. So I think that, at least in my experience, most of the injuries that I've seen happen somewhere around a couple of weeks out from the event. That's why fights are getting canceled right before the event, because your body is breaking down. So when it gets closer to the fight, you're gonna have, or the test, you're gonna have to start being more safe, getting more rest. Make sure your nutrition is good. Getting your whatever you need to do to make sure your body is properly recovering from the workout. You gotta protect yourself. So to reiterate, number one, what you wanna do is make sure that you don't do any hardcore movements, hardcore sparring. If you're doing jiu-jitsu, cut down on the scrambling. If you're doing boxing, cut down on your hard sparring. Number two, and then second, start wearing more protective gear. If you're boxing, wear the no contact headgear. Wear your knee pads, your ankles, everything like that. And also make sure you're getting your proper sleep, your proper rest, and recovering properly from each one of your workouts. Listen to your body so you can be at least as close to 100% at the event. Most people aren't ever 100% at the event, but you want to be as close to 100% as possible. All right, guys, I know that was a little drawn out, but I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, please press like and subscribe to my channel for more to come. Once again, guys, my name is DJ, giving you confidence during chaos and showing you respect.